Alright, what is going on, people of Earth? My name is Chilly Dilly, back at you with another chill-ass story time. Now, it's been about a month since I've done a story time. I try to do at least once a month where you guys get to know more just about me, my smoking career, crazy things that I've done throughout my life. And I think I'm going to keep going with the theme of the last one. You should definitely go check out the last one. It was getting caught smoking at a teacher's house. It was very interesting. We're going to kind of keep it going with, I guess, the more school theme. And today I'm going to be talking about the very first time I was ever baked in school, or pretty much got baked right before school. If you guys don't know, I couldn't do these kinds of videos without sponsors because YouTube does not pay WeTubers, and that's completely fine. I chose this route. I love this route. And I also love the sponsor we're going to be using today. Shout out to JK Distro, man. Some of the best, if not the best, THCA flower. I've tried 100 plus, 200 plus probably now strains from them. All of them are super fire. They are pretty much, to me, the original person of the $50 ounce, legal ounce that everybody could get. Right here is one of my new favorite ones from them, Blueberry Gelato. Genuinely smells and kind of tastes like blueberry with flower, and it doesn't have that sprayed smell or feeling that, or taste or whatever that some people think that is going on heavy in the hemp industry. But that is not what we're here to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're here to talk about the very first time I ever got stoned and was at school. Cheers. Now, if you don't know anything about me or haven't watched a lot of story times, I started smoking at 16. Definitely too young if you ask me. Some people would say that that's a bit late. Some people would say it's perfect, whatever. I always say wait till you're at least the legal age, but that's just me being a hypocrite, essentially. And I was just like anybody else. Like, I just smoked with homies after work. I would do it during like the weekend, and then it goes and keeps going, and then you're smoking by yourself before school. Now, I had just moved to a new school. For those who don't know, I did live in Ohio, and then I moved 1 year, and then I moved to South Carolina. And now I had moved to this new school, and it doesn't matter. So I'm a new person to this school. I just started smoking pretty heavy. I would say that I'm like halfway into the school year. I'm like kind of cool with some of the people there, but I'm more friends with people outside where I like work and do things more like with older kids essentially at the time. And so I didn't really smoke before school because I just always thought that was crazy, and I was always the kind of kid that would wake up pretty freaking late, and I had like 20 minutes to get to school. Now, if you guys don't know, like usually when you hit 16 or 17 or something like that, some schools will allow you to get a parking pass and you can park there. If you don't know, in Ohio, you can get your license at like 15 and a half, pretty much 16, but if you get the school done like that, because you have to do this school thing, like you can still get your license at essentially 15 and a half. And then now where I live, and now the new place I live, they had an intermediate and like stuff. They had like a permit, intermediate, then an actual license. And like I don't even think most kids could get their license to like 17. So I off rip already had a license, and that put me like I already was able to get a pass like that. Like you usually have to do like a whole bunch of shit for that school. Had to go to do a whole bunch of shit. It doesn't matter. So I already had a pass. I could drive myself. That's the important part. Well, one day before school, I stupidly decided that I was going to smoke. I literally only had a bowl because I did not know how to roll at the time. I'm like 16 and a half, and I'm over here with this little bowl, and I got it from a homie, and I literally had like not much weed at all. So what do? Of course I'm not gonna sit in my parents' house, parking lot, garage, whatever, because my mom was still home. Like I'm not gonna sit out there and just smoke. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll go somewhere by the school to go smoke. That's a bad mistake, because they keep police by schools when it's like open and you're like they're going in. I never even really realized that as I was like going to school, but like I realize it a lot more now. Like watch next time you go to a school that's going out or in, like you'll see a couple cops around. So there was this old fucking like IGA type shit. I don't even know, dude. It was some weird fucking rundown shitty grocery store by the school. So I went and parked there. I remember because They had like a Faygo machine out there for 99 cents or like 89 cents. You could get like a bottle of Faygo. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna smoke a couple bowls, and then I'm gonna get a Faygo and go to school. So I go there, have no paranoia, no worries on my brain because I don't know. I had fucking balls of steel at the time, essentially. And I started smoking the bowl just literally out and open, like windows up. I'm hotboxing, music kind of loud. I'm just literally sitting here ripping this bowl right before I get to school. So I get obviously obliterated. Like I literally smoked like 6 bowls, like 8 bowls in like 10 minutes because I had to be in class in like 15 minutes. So I had 10 minutes to smoke and like 5 minutes to get into class. So as you can tell though, I mean, I was close though. So I'm like done, whatever. My car is so smoky. I don't even think to get the smoke out. I don't think to unhotbox it. So I drive past the cops and everything with a completely smoky car. And then, you know, I pull up in the school, and then it was a very small school. So like my car was pretty close to the school. So it was close to a lot of kids. As soon as I open my door, like I see like 10 people turn their head and be like, what the fuck? And all this smoke is coming out, and it definitely smells like fucking weed. And I don't know about you, but that morning waking bake just always hits so much harder, so my eyes are just so low. Now, here's where you're probably thinking, oh my god, like this kid's gonna get in trouble. I almost did, but we're gonna get into that. So if a lot of people, you know, if you ever went to school, which I imagine a lot of people did, you might remember the one class that's like, you would go for like, what is that shit called? Like, you would go for like mechanic, like all kinds of different shit. It was like, what the fuck are those called, man? It was like an elective thing that it was a class that you could choose to have in different schools where you would go and learn. You could get like a 2-year fucking degree, learning like engineering, computer engineering, things like that. Like vocational school kind of, but like I went to 2 schools where you could take, like I literally went in Ohio. I took ROTC, which was involved to go to a like different kind of vocational school center, and then doing this also was another, because I did computer engineering. And I didn't get the degree because I only went there 1 year and moved. But anyway, so usually that shit's at the end of school or it's like in the middle. But that was my first class. So I would drive there literally just to get on a bus to go to a different school. So I wasn't really worried too much about like getting caught in the first like hour or whatever. Because that would have been bad. Like going in, smelling hella weed, being in a closed classroom. I knew I was good because I get out. It takes like 30 minutes for the bus to even leave. So I'm just in the back chilling with my homie. My homie's name was Austin at the time, and he also smoked. And literally as soon as he got back there where I was, he was like, bro, you fucking reek. And I was just like, eh. And so it takes like another 30 minutes. We get to the school, and dude, this computer class is so fucking boring. Like, I'm not getting caught. Like, the teacher's so far away. I'm just dicking around all day. I'm so stoned looking at this shit, and he's trying to like tell us how to program shit and how to make a website, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know what's going on. And then the paranoia starts to set in a little bit because I don't know what it is, but whenever it's like somebody tells you that you smell, like it just makes you so much more nervous, or like you don't care, but like it made me nervous because like as soon as we got there, like every kid in that class was like, bro, you fucking smell. So I was like, fuck. So I went to the bathroom and like washed my hands and like was just being dumb essentially. Came back, nothing happened. The teacher did look at me weird and the bus driver did look at me weird, but they couldn't prove anything, obviously, especially at that time. And they really had no jurisdiction over the other school, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so we get back to the school, and then now I'm literally having to go to, hold on, I gotta remember what classes these were. I just remember that one easily because, I mean, it was fucking vocational school or whatever. Like, it's pretty hard to forget that. I don't know what class I had next. I don't know, it could have been like English. I know it wasn't math because I had math before lunch. Anyway, I'm going throughout these classes and nothing's happening. I'm just getting like so paranoid though, bro. Like I'm not even having a good time. And then like I get to the math class, and that's where the teacher literally notices that like my eyes are super red and all this other shit. And it doesn't even matter at this point. Like I probably smell like stale weed, and like I'm just tired at this point. It's already been so long. Like I just want to eat, go home and smoke. It's so crazy that we went to school, bro. Like what the fuck? And then he actually told me after class, he was like, bro, you kind of smell bad and like your eyes are really low. Are you okay? And I was like, what? What do you mean I smell bad? And he was like, you know. And then I was like, no, I don't know. And he was just like, okay. And that was like the only cool teacher that was essentially there. And he never even, like I never even talked to him really. So for him to say that, I guess he was just looking out for me. But that made me like 10 times more paranoid. So now I'm like thinking all throughout the day that like I'm gonna be fucking caught, or like, because if they searched my car, I would have been fucked. But then lunch comes, and sure enough, I am just so tired and hungry. And this was not back in the day with Benjamin, so I decided to ride it out, you know what I mean? I can't even remember what classes I had after that, but I know that I pretty much went to sleep in all of them. Oh, the last one I had was really cool because it was with a bunch of homies. And that was the one that was always cool because we would make plans to smoke after that class because it was the last class. And it was like forensic science or something like that. And it was just like learning about murder shit throughout the whole like year. It was pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. It's like the only interesting class I think I ever took. But that class especially, like we'd always watch movies and shit, so like I just fucking sleep, do whatever. I didn't get caught. I almost did. But I was just really worried that maybe that teacher was gonna be like, oh bro, like I'm gonna tell them you're gonna have to go open your trunk, all that shit. Like I was like, fuck. And then I remember as soon as I got back in my car, like even when I opened it, like there was still just stale smoke in there and fucking it smelled terrible. And that's when I had my Ford Escort, which if you don't know what that is, I had this blue Ford Escort. I'll put up a picture. And I called it the Shaggin' Wagon because it literally had shag interior in it. And it was just such a like bad car to smoke in because it would just get trapped in there for like a week. It was terrible, I'm not gonna lie. The experience overall was not good, obviously. I don't recommend to do that at all because you're there, it's like a fucking 9 to 5. You're there for like 7-8 hours. I mean, I know kids got the Benjamins nowadays and that's whatever, but like, it wasn't even fun to me. I didn't even want to focus or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I never was the kind of kid that would go to school stoned. Like I did it a couple times, and I just never really cared for it. But that's why honestly my senior year I just stopped going essentially, and still somehow graduated, which is really cool. But I'll definitely, I'm pretty sure I told a story about that. I pretty much didn't almost graduate because of this, so definitely have your priorities straight because I was dumb and got lucky. Not everybody's gonna get that lucky. And you don't want to fuck your life up, obviously. Cracking down really hard on pens and shit, so it's just not even worth it, bro. But this was the first time that I had ever done it. I definitely had, like I said, more in South Carolina because I only had like 4 classes. So I would not even show up for the first 2, go to the third one because it was art and I would be super baked and I would just sit there and like try to paint and shit. The only reason I really went to the art classes because I thought I thought she was kind of hot. So like I would definitely go there to try to mac on her and it did not work. But yeah, I guess we're gonna go and end it here, man. I'm super baked off this. This blueberry gelato is definitely one of my new favorites, bro. Like it has such a nice, sweet blueberry taste, but still heavy on the flower side because you don't want it to be too heavy blueberry, then it's weird. But appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the story. Shout out to JK Distro. I think they're having all kinds of crazy deals right now as well. I'm not 100% sure, but check them out just in case.